course, the album.
Well, the fan response really, because in our early days with CBS Records, although we were having hits with the Australian market, we were never actually told. I know that seems really unbelievable. We only actually found out we had any level of popularity in Australia when we started getting royalty statements out. And we did a new deal after we got ourselves away from the CBS contract, which took quite a few years. We did a new deal with Columbia Dance Pool, which is kind of CBS renewed. And we decided to come out and actually start to break the market gradually, starting from the bottom end up.
How do you make it fresh?
It's impossible. You go through the motions. I mean, you know, it must be the same for an artist like Prince with Purple Rain. It must be exactly the same for Madonna with Like a Virgin. She must have a very good memory if she can remember being a virgin. It must be, it's just as hard for them. It's over in 4 minutes. I mean, initially, you know, there were phases where I go, right, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. And obviously people would even ask for the money back if you don't do Spin Me Round, which really does bewilder me, because if I went to see a group, which I don't anymore, don't see them anymore.
You don't go and see any gigs?
No. I mean, I know what goes into it, all the blood, sweat, tears,
you've seen them,
drinks,
haven't you?
I've been doing it too long. But if I was in the position of going to see a group, if there was somebody I wanted to go and see, I don't really think that I'd want to see them do something that I've seen on TV 1,000 times or heard on the radio 1,000 times. I'm more receptive to new material, but I've got to realise that the general public aren't always like that.
Well, it's interesting because one of the clips we've got is George Michael's father figure, and he's been through the same sort of, you know, being stuck with a record company and having to change and wanting to change and not being allowed to. Can you identify to a certain extent?
Oh yeah, I understand the position he's in. I mean, also as well, I mean, I like the father figure video that you're going to play, because it was quite new not to see the artist constantly in the video. It was very atmospheric and just a nice thing to look at. It sort of had the same vibe about it as early Roxy music, a very atmospheric thing. I really liked it, and it was a pleasure not to have to look at George Michael for 4 more minutes. Just about 10 cups in the morning, then I'm okay. When I start to shake, get the coffee trembles.
The heart started. We just saw George Michael, and you mentioned, you know, the influence, almost like a Roxy Music feel. And Roxy Music, I think, were one of those seminal bands, I think, particularly in England around the sort of late 70s, that had an image that I mean, at the same time as Bowie, that had an image that was totally sort of camp and outside of the established rock and roll things. Were they a big influence on it?
They weren't at the time, but in retrospect, when I look back at what they did, I find them to be a lot more musically interesting than David Bowie was. A lot more musically interesting. I mean, when I look back at Bowie's early work, it's pretty standard R&B, and I can find a lot of sloppy sections in it, where I think Roxy Music were more out on a limb. And I did like the imagery, because to me it was a cartoon sort of image, and that's the period that I grew up in, the Bieber period, the 70s and everything.
Okay, well, let's have a look at a career. You mentioned Madonna earlier on, if she could remember being like a virgin, but you picked Human Nature, I think.
Yeah, I picked that one because it was one of the videos that, from European MTV point of view, didn't get that much exposure, and it was something I only saw brief glitches of, and I just remember one bit where she's got a chihuahua with an S&M plug on. I thought that was really funny, so it's a video I'd actually like the chance to see.
And it's a great song too.
I suppose it is, but unfortunately I watched the record as opposed to listen to it. You know, I saw the video and it impressed me, and then our satellite dish went down and I never saw the video.
Oh, damn. Well, have a look at it now. You'll enjoy this. Do our first cup of coffee with Pete Burns. Is that a difficult thing to do a lot of the time? I mean, how do you get on with everybody and Steve and everybody?
Well, the band get on really, really well. Obviously our lineup's changed considerably since we began. We actually began in the late 70s, but you know, as far as the mass public knows, it was in the 80s. And it's not a solid lineup of a band. There's only me and Steve really that have stayed solid. And the people that work with us, it becomes almost like a family atmosphere. They've got to have, I mean, before they've got any talent, they've got to have the sort of right personalities, really.
Now, the Pet Shop Boys, two guys who've actually been able to keep themselves going for years, and they've really done some fantastic clips over the years and put out some great sounds. What do you think the secret of their success, sound-wise, is?
It's a very identifiable sound. I mean, a lot of people that I know who aren't fans of the Pet Shop Boys don't think Neil Tennant can sing, mainly because he's not yodeling all over the track like a Bono sort of thing, but he's got his own style and he's never tried to change his style. It's like Adidas trainers. He's a classic thing, and the music's always got a sense of humour. I like the way that I know what they've been through behind the scenes in the industry with TV programmers thinking, oh, can't you move, or can't you do this, or can't you dress up? You know, I know that they get a lot of pressure because they're pretty static people, and I also like the way that with that pressure they've managed to compensate by putting things around them and still remain the same. I just really like them. I don't own any of their albums. In fact, I don't own any of their records, but I know that whenever they do something, it stands out, and it's always very easily identifiable as Pet Shop Boys.
Yeah, I can understand that. So we picked Being Boring, which is a great song as well too.
I like the song and the video because there's a real sadness running through it. Its lyrics in this song are very appropriate for the times. You know, that all his friends are gone in the 90s and stuff, what with AIDS and drug ODs, and you know, the way life is when you're growing up, that people you think are going to be there forever just really aren't, right down to your parents. They're gone one day, and I just think the song is a very underrated song. It was underrated in Europe. You know, it's probably the smallest hit ever, and I thought it's a beautiful song.
Usually too long for radio, unfortunately.
Yeah, but it's still that doesn't matter because it's not. You know, you don't care about the length while you're enjoying it. Well, I don't think anyone should ever make a record and just think, oh, is this the right length for the radio? It's about self-expression, and that's a good piece of work that they did that seemed very self-expressive.